Hello, early friends! You may be asking yourselves, what is going on? What is this? What is this new video format they have going on? It's actually not new at all. Last month, during April, during the month of Camp NaNoWriMo, I was doing vlogs. You know, you probably watched them, and, you know, people really enjoyed them and they wanted them to stay. So I thought, well, let's do just that. And I'm recording this video the Friday before you're watching it. And basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to sit down, talk about my process, the struggles, you know, during my writing, whether it is the act of writing itself or revision or publishing itself. I will be talking about any of those things, you know, as they come up, you know, because I'm spoilers, I write books for a living. You know, and I'll talk about, you know, the struggles and all those, you know, give you all that nice, you know, sweet insider information. And also, you know, talk about my process and myself, you know, because I'm a writer and it's my life and that's the name of this show, so that's the way we're gonna do things. And also you get to see me being silly and wear my ugly sweater, and I'm still a little sick. Oh yeah, spoilers! Some of you may have noticed that last week there weren't many videos up. That's because I was sick. And I reformatted my schedule so that would never happen ever again. I would always have videos ready in case that I got sick. I'm feeling way better. If you follow me on Twitter, you heard about me being sick, and me, you know, yeah, like, trying to work while being sick, which was a bad idea, and I now recognize that. But there's a bunch of things that I want to talk about, and the first and the biggest of them all is what happened to the second book that I was going to be writing during the month of Camp NaNoWriMo. And I did not only get incredibly sick, but I had a realization of a personal matter that I need to take care of during the month of May before I go to Fanime. By spoilers, I'm going to be at FanimeCon 2015, San Jose, California. Go meet me in person. And there's so many things that I have to get done, along with releases that I want them to go out during this month. New books coming out. What? Spoilers. And there's no way I can write a book in the midst of all of this, so that's just not gonna happen. I wanna shoot to see if I can get writing done, but you know, if I'm juggling a personal thing that needs to happen, Fanime, and also like the release of another book, you know, it's gonna be a little bit problematic for those things to happen. I don't know, but the main subject of this video that I want to talk about is staying motivated with one story over the span of waiting to get to write it again. So why talk about this? Well, I wanted to talk about this because a couple of days back, one of the people that I was doing Camp NaNoWriMo with messaged me, and they were like, "Hey Max, what's gonna happen to your story? Are you gonna finish it?" And I felt bad because I wanted to finish the story, but right now, in my work thing and my personal life thing and my preparations for the convention, I don't have the time to do that. And that makes me sad. Yeah, it makes me sad. It makes me a little worried because, you know, I hate letting go of stories, but there's something that has helped me forever, and I'm going to talk about it today. I was thinking about this, and I was brainstorming, and I had to, like, question myself, and I was like, what is the one thing that I do when I'm not writing to remind myself of the story that I want to work on, the story that I want to get back to, the world that I want to return to so I can see the world through the point of view of different characters, and to see what happens, what keeps me excited. And I think I have to just give it credit and just call it what it is. The main tool, the biggest tool that I use for writing, and it's music. It's music. Every goddamn time it's music. I was worried that I would let go of the story and I wouldn't be able to pick it up again. And if you've been hearing me on Twitter, I've reformatted my schedule. With that extra time, I've been able to run and I've been able to listen to music while running. And one of the biggest things that I do, and the trick to this is this, okay? Listening to music helps me remember the world because, as I've mentioned, I make playlists for all of my books and for characters and for particular situations, and I like to listen to those playlists whenever I am not thinking about work. And the main idea of this is that, and this is what I used to do when I used to go to college, and I would just listen to music on the bus, and I would think of my characters on the bus or in the moments between moving from class to class, the moments where you're not thinking about work, you're not thinking about stories and life and personal problems and stuff like that, and you have a moment of silence, a moment to lean back and just listen to music and think of the world and do that silly thing that I do where, like, listen to a song and imagine it as being the opening theme for the show based on your book, you know, fun stuff like that. And people may, you know, some people think that's silly, and some people think that, you know, that's gonna run its course over time. And I can stand here as proof that that is actually not true. There's been stories that I've let go of for years, and I've been able to come back thanks to that music. As a matter of fact, there are certain songs that I can't listen to casually anymore. Why? Because that song has been attached to a particular story, and whenever I listen to that, I think of that world, and I think of that story, and I can't listen to it casually anymore. An example of that, because I know somebody out there is going to be asking for examples, an example of that is Arms by Christina Perri. It's a song that I can't listen to casually anymore. I cannot. Not only because it's incredibly bloody sad, but also because I attached that song to a book that I wrote called Wonderful Emotions, and that song was literally on repeat on my headphones for like the last week or so when I was finishing that book. And I can't listen to that, because if I listen to that song, I will think of the characters of that world and the events of that world, and I am not ready for that right now, because I want to get back there so I can revise the book and get it ready and share it with the entire world. But until then, I can't listen to that song. And I think there has to be a science behind that. There has to be a science behind the idea of attaching emotions to songs or emotions to particular stimuli, and that's basically what I do. I attach particular ideas and characters and scenes to a stimuli. In my case, my favorite stimuli of them all, music. I know that some people may think it's silly, and it's kind of silly, I getcha. But whenever I'm running, like I run for an hour, and every time the last half an hour to 20 minutes is me listening to the songs of my playlist for The Humanity That Remains, which is the book that I was working on until I had to stop. And I keep imagining the characters, and I keep imagining the world, and I prepare myself for the day that I get to come back to it. And people think it's silly, and it's okay, and it's the way that I do things, and I don't sell it as anything else other than that. But the first day when I was feeling really down, I put up the opening theme for Gurren Lagann, and I just listened to that on repeat for like 40 minutes of running, only that song, thinking of my characters, thinking of the world, thinking of the place that I wanted to come back to, and I will come back to in due time. I don't know how much time I want to have for writing this month, but I do know that I want to get back to it, and I may not be able to share a lot of stats of writing or in the upcoming vlogs, but I'm going to be going over the process of being in waiting and the process of revising and editing, because I'm planning on publishing a book, spoilers, relatively soon. So I want to talk about the behind the scenes stuff that goes on there, and interacting with editors and communication and a lot of awesome stuff. So there are things that you have to look forward to. As for everything else, though, that's pretty much all I have to say about staying motivated. I know that it's kind of strange, and I know that I keep bringing that up, but it's really what works for me, and I don't sell this as anything else other than that. Music for me is the most integral part of writing, and I have to give it credit. It is the most important tool for me. Like, if I didn't have my favorite writing program, Focuswriter, if I didn't have my favorite organizing software, Evernote, and if I didn't have a computer, I would be fine as long as I had music. Without music, I think that writing would be so much more dull for me. I'm always listening to music whenever I'm working and whenever I'm writing, and music has always been a part of me and my history and my personal life. Ever since I was in high school, and I would be on the bus and I would always be listening to music, thinking of worlds and characters, and it's been the way that I do things. I just attach emotions and characters to music, and I don't think it's special at all. I think everyone does this without thinking about it and without realizing it. And maybe you have been doing it all this time. And I want you to go out and, and to experiment with this, and to, listen to the songs that remind you of your world whenever you're not writing, to remind you that it's still there and it's waiting for you and you can always go back. But yeah, with all those things said, I hope that you've enjoyed this silly vlog. These are going to be coming every week, Monday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can, find them on your YouTube box, and also on my official writing blog over at maxkirin.tumblr.com. Really casual videos, a way for you to start, just start your week by hearing about me and, a little bit of inspirational advice here and there. But yes, from now on, you can expect a really nice and chunky vlog from yours truly, talking about writing and inspirational and motivational content, along with a little bit of writing advice here and there, and my particular silly humor. With all of those things said, though, I want to thank you for watching. If you have writing questions you would like to ask me, or any sort of comments or feedback on this new format, please let me know in the comments below. I value your opinion greatly, and I want to hear what you have to say. And with that said, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I'll be seeing you soon. Mwah!